Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Wednesday, June 15th, around 8 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. The sun's going down, a perfect 10-day out. It's going to be another perfect 10-day tomorrow. The temperature's going to start creeping up the weekend, but it's going to be dry until at least Monday, while the muggy air comes back. Could be hazy, hot, and humid first day of summer. We'll wait and see about that. Some news to report. Rapper Dr. Dre is blind now because he has diabetes. Diabetes is one of the worst diseases to have because it affects everything. So prayers to him. Also, Ichiro now has the most hits ever combined for Major League Baseball and Japan. He passed Pete Rose for 4,257 hits. He's getting close to 3,000 overall hits in Major League Baseball. And the Kansas City Royals designated Omar Infante for assignment. And that's about it on the news. My third and final video blog subject of the night is my personality profile. Tonight's personality profile is about former professional wrestler Greg Gagne. Greg Gagne was in the world of sports entertainment for 19 years. He was one of the most famous wrestlers in AWA history, winning tag team titles on a number of occasions, teaming with Jumping Jim Brazil, the High Flyers. Greg was born and he grew up in Minnesota, and he followed wrestling at an early age because his father, Vern Gagne, was one of the best wrestlers of his generation, and Greg wanted to be a professional wrestler. He trained with his father, Vern, at that famous pro wrestling camp. He came out of class with the Iron Sheik, Nature Boy Ric Flair, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Ken Patera, and others. And Greg started wrestling in 1972 for the AWA. He wrestled Ric Flair, Nick Bockwinkel, Bobby Duncombe Sr., Blackjack Lanza, Baron Von Raschke, and so many of the other heels in the AWA. Greg teamed with Jumping Jim Brazil, and they won the AWA World Tag Team Champions 2 times. They faced off against great teams such as Crusher Blackwell and Ken Patera, Ray Stevens and Nick Bockwinkel, Adrian Adonis and Jesse the Body Ventura, the East-West Connection. They also feuded with Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens and Pat Patterson, and other exciting teams. Also, Greg Gagne got some AWA World title shots against Nick Bockwinkel in the 70s, but he was unable to wrest the AWA World title from Nick Bockwinkel. From time to time, Greg would wrestle in a few other territories briefly, and it was a talent exchange by the other wrestling promoters. Greg wrestled for Central States for a couple of times, Georgia Championship Wrestling, and he teamed with Jumping Jim Brazil, the High Flyers. They made a couple of tag team title defenses at Georgia Championship Wrestling. He also wrestled for Toronto, and Greg wrestled for the WWF 3 times. 2 times he wrestled at Madison Square Garden, winning both times. And the 3rd time he wrestled at the Showdown in Shea Stadium in 1980. And also, Greg worked behind the scenes for the AWA. And Vern Gagne really wanted Greg to be the AWA World Champion. But many of the promoters for the AWA did not want that to happen because Greg Gagne was kind of, his character was like ordinary, dull and ordinary, and plus many of the people in the AWA says that would be nepotism. Greg continued his wrestling in the 80s. He formed a tag team with Kurt Hennig. Also, he was part of Sergeant Slaughter's corps. Like, he recruited with Sergeant Slaughter, and Greg donned like the army camouflage with Sergeant Slaughter, which was pretty cool. Towards the late 1980s, Greg feuded with Kurt Hennig over the AWA World Title. In a tag team match, Greg Gagne was turned on by Kurt Hennig, and at the Thanksgiving Day show in 1987 for the AWA, Greg Gagne beat Kurt Hennig with interference by Larry the Axe Hennig and Vern Gagne. Greg finally won the AWA World Title, but later on in that weekend's television show, it was a dusty finish, and Kurt was given back the AWA World Title, which a lot of people thought that was BS, but many AWA promoters was going to stop promoting Vern in the towns that he did what was left over, and Greg was given his own championship, the AWA International Television Championship. Greg won it by beating Adrian Adonis in a tournament. He held it for about a year. He lost it to Ronnie Garvin, but Greg won it back at Super Clash 3. Towards the end of the 80s, Greg was wrestling less and less. He was working on more duties backstage for the AWA, and the AWA was losing wrestlers left and right. The talent was going because Vern didn't want to change with the times. Greg was doing some commentary from time to time on AWA programming. In October 1989, Greg Gagne was attacked by Cornito Maximus, who turned into Yokozuna in the AWA tag team finals. Him and Paul Diamond was facing off against the Destruction Crew, and the Destruction Crew beat Greg Gagne and Paul Diamond to win the AWA World Tag Team titles. Greg Gagne never wrestled on television again for the AWA, as his duties were more concentrated backstage and trying to save the AWA. But in 1991, the AWA declared bankruptcy. Greg wrestled one final time for the AWA in 1991. It was a farewell card, and he and Wahoo McDaniel teamed up to face off against the Destruction Crew. That was the last AWA card promoted by Vern Gagne. After the AWA folded, Greg went to work for WCW for a couple of years. He was on a booking committee, and he also sometimes ran out to the ring when they were trying to break up wrestlers when they were fighting. He was a suit and an agent. Eventually, Eric Bischoff fired Greg Gagne, and afterwards, for about 10 years or so, Greg sold cars in the Minneapolis area. In 2006, he came back to the world of professional wrestling. He worked briefly as a road agent / producer for the WWE. He worked for the Ohio Valley Wrestling organization, doing the television and as a booker, but eventually he was let go. Since then, Greg has worked on hedge funds for retired wrestlers, and he opened up a wrestling school in Minnesota, and Greg's appeared on many shoot interviews. During the final years of Vern Gagne's life, Greg was kind of a caretaker to Vern, who was suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Greg Gagne had an awesome career in professional wrestling. Even though his personality was a little bit dull and ordinary, he was like a drawing power for the AWA, and if Vern could have changed with the times, the AWA could have maybe survived, and Greg could have been running the AWA, because I heard like Greg had some great ideas for the AWA, but they never came to pass because of the like a lot of stuff. The AWA bankrupt and the stuff like that. That's about it on Greg Gagne. That's about it on these video blogs: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. Tomorrow, 3 more video blogs are coming your way. First video blog will be about MBTA bus route 112 that goes from Wellington Station to Wood Island Station. Second video blog will be about the Boston Burger Company. And third and final video blog of the night will be about the personality profile. Tomorrow will be performer professional wrestler Eric Watts. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Pudding guy. Molly Roseblood of WCCOX and has nice legs. Elizabeth Hutt, so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swensley's awesome. And in the words of the Patel last week, no bus. Good night, everybody, and bye.